Good morning, everybody. It's August the 3rd, a Monday, a beautiful Monday in the Finger Lakes. Hard to believe we're in the month of August. Hey, today a good friend of mine, we're talking about Jessica Sinicropi-Elias is in the house, on the couch, talking about her business and the eventual move to Waterloo and a whole lot more here on a Monday Weber this week. And we welcome you to our studios at fingerlakes1.com. The dog with you, obviously, in the kennel, and our good friend, my longtime friend, Jessica. Jessica, good to have you alongside. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, myself and Jessica and her family go back a long, long time, and we've always hit it off. And my wife, Mary, I can say, is a very close friend of Jessica's, because I think she would divorce me instead of getting her hair done on time. So, all seriousness, we're going to talk to Jessica about the big move and let's first off, for the viewers that may not know you, it's hard to believe because you are out in the public and people know you have an awful lot of friends and contacts in your business. But talk a little bit about yourself, where you went to school, how you got involved in hairdressing from the get-go.
Oh, wow. Let's see. So I've always had a, I think, knack for hairstyling and the industry. So I don't know. I just felt like this was like my calling. So here I am, a hairstylist. I built a business from the ground up.
Yeah. When did you start?
After I moved back from Las Vegas.
Okay.
I went to hair school in Syracuse. It was Phillips Hairstyling Institute at that point. And then from there, I came to Auburn and worked with my friend Judy, who taught me a lot of, who made me the colorist I am today. And then I went down to Long Island and then got more training, which blew up my business once I moved back to Waterloo. So I really originated the business in Waterloo and grew it much larger. And then we moved to Seneca Falls and my team grew. And here I am moving again. Every 5 years, I like to change it up, Don't want to be too stagnant, and that's basically it,
Well, certainly you have an excellent clientele, and I know because I pick up my wife, Mary, who's a customer of yours, along with her good friend, Sandy.
Yes.
Two of your finest.
Oh, definitely.
You think about your location. Now, how long have you been in Seneca Falls, down the street?
So we've been in Seneca Falls 5 years.
Okay.
We're going on our 6th year. Doesn't seem possible. But, I liked being downtown for the time that we were there, and downtown Seneca Falls has become beautiful and more known now with the Hall of Fame,
right.
And I think a lot of tourism with the wineries and things like that. I feel that this will be in the future for me, and
Excuse me.
it's okay. My staff and my husband and my future as far as retiring goes, to move to a building that I own and with parking and I don't know, I think something new and refreshing. And Waterloo is, I think, being redone downtown, so I'd like to be a part of that. Obviously, I always have roots in Seneca Falls, so to me, I love both places.
And I would be remiss, we're going to get to this sooner or later, Jessica Sinicropi-Elias. And speaking of Elias, you got married last Valentine's Day?
Yeah, February.
So it'll be a year come February.
True.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
By the way, we should point out to her staff at the Seneca Falls location, which is right down Fall Street, near the end of the street. Talk a little bit about your current staff and give us some names and what they all do for your team.
Okay, well, I wouldn't have anything without my team because they're amazing people, great stylists. So Kelly Scott has worked with me since I started. Tara Ciotti, Julia Freeland Bishop, Lexi Westcott, and Jasmine DeWorth will join us hopefully in the new move. And Sierra Decker also does makeup for us periodically. And hopefully we'll be expanding that with any other makeup artists that are interested. I also, plan on expanding some of our services, in the new building, but I kind of want it to be a surprise.
Oh, sure. And we don't want to let the cat out of the bag, right?
No, not too much. So, my staff is great. I'm very lucky. We all work together. Melissa Verkey has helped me throughout from start to finish, doing reception and making baskets, donations, just any errand that I needed, just like all of my staff. And my mother-in-law now came to work for me, which is great. I'm very lucky to have her. She helps me out as well. And my family has been very supportive. All parts of my family, the community has been very supportive. I'm very lucky, but we've definitely all worked hard and put in a lot of, hours to.
And I might add to the viewers checking us out this morning, my guest this morning, longtime friend of yours truly and our family, Jessica Sinicropi-Elias, certainly, a mainstay here in Seneca Falls. It's sort of sad that she's moving to Waterloo, but not that far away. It's a couple of miles. Being married to a hairstylist, Mary,
That's right, yeah.
And you guys have a lot in common because I'm sure you
Truly,
talk about
yes.
hairstyles.
Yeah.
I met my wife, and she was a hairstylist. La Petite Beauty Salon on Lyons Road. So I met my wife and realized that she was a hairdresser. But I think people checking us out this morning who go to hairstylists realize that, with all due respect, that's not easy work, standing up all day long. And not to throw plaudits to you, Jess, but it's a lot harder than people think it is, because you're not sitting down doing people. If you're doing makeup or doing nails, that's one thing. But standing up and doing hair, that gets on the old legs and the body a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I've noticed that over the years with my wife when she was doing a lot. That's not easy work.
It's definitely physical work. Yeah.
And so we're going to talk about a little bit about when Jessica made the decision, about the decision, and the decision being moving from Seneca Falls to Waterloo. But this is Weber This Week on a Monday. We have some great sponsors, and let me start off and tell you right now, we are thrilled to begin a new sponsorship relationship with Sharon Holtland and her staff at the Gould Hotel here in Seneca Falls. Sharon's been on the program a couple of times. She's going to be on much more down the several months from now as we go through the next few months. But they're coming on today as a brand new sponsor. So we welcome the Gould Hotel here on Weber This Week. Let's hear from our great sponsors. We'll come back and talk about Jess. Cayuga Lake National Bank, Bill Ryan and his team for all of your banking needs. Offices in Union Springs and Aurora. A fine sponsor of this show for over 30 years. DA Liquors, Seneca Falls. Amy Padula and her great team will find that right spirit for you every time. Tell Amy the dog sent you. Cicino's. Live, laugh, eat well. It's the Italian way. It's also the Cicino's way. Place your order today at Cicinos.com. Locations, Main Street, Waterloo, and 401 Exchange Street in Geneva. The Gould Hotel welcomes you to come out and enjoy the revitalization of this historical landmark. Wednesdays, don't forget Ladies' Night with special price drinks and half-priced appetizers. Tap is Thursday, and their chef serves a dinner special every night. The Gould Hotel in Seneca Falls. Steve Wadhams, Wadhams Enterprises, your employer of choice. Proud supporter of this show and local athletics. Bob and Leslie Ullman, owners of the Ullman Theater in Lyons, as well as the Newark Pilots, a minor league baseball team with a major league ballpark. SenecaFallsCountryClub.com, awesome 18-hole layout, offering a 12-month payment plan. Home of the toughest par 4 in Central New York. Wilson Press, WPress.com. Seneca Falls, Rich Ricky, my good friend, and his team can handle all of your printing and mailing needs. Rich Ricky, Wilson Press, a fine sponsor of Weber This Week. On a Monday, August 3rd, welcome back. The Dog with you, along with my friend Jessica Sinicropi-Elias, talking about her business as a hairstylist and her salon down the street in Seneca Falls. We'll get to her again in just a couple of seconds. A couple of topics we want to run by before we get back to Jess. Let me first say kudos to the Omens. Even though the Newark Pilots did not make the playoffs, got nipped, they had made the playoffs the first 4 out of 5 years, Jimmy. Yep. And that's quite a credit and quite a tribute to what Bob and Leslie have done in Newark. As I just did on my ad here, a minor league team with a major league ballpark. They just do a phenomenal job, and I'm sure they're disappointed because they didn't make the dance. But Jimmy, I have nothing to be ashamed of. They got an outstanding program there, and they do great work.
Yeah, and the league's great. The Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League is expanded to a team in Newark, so that's a little shorter of a road trip for the Pilots than having to go, all the way to Cooperstown or Albany or Amsterdam.
Yep.
It's a big state, and they're all over the place. And I actually heard a rumor that there's a team from Ottawa, Canada, trying to, or maybe it's not Ottawa, a Canadian team is trying to get into that league for next year, maybe, but. Yeah, I believe only 4 teams make the playoffs, and they made the playoffs 4 of the last 5 years. This year, just missing it on 2 nights before the end of the regular season.
And by the way, before I get a couple of notes here that I want to bring up to you before I get back to Jessica, the Seneca Falls Country Club is one of our great sponsors, and of course, myself and Jess played quite a bit of golf there, along with Jimmy, who, by the way, is the president of the board down there. He's got a lot of things on his mind every day. But our signature event is coming up August 23rd. The signature event being the Cash Bonanza. That's coming up August 23rd. That's our big event every year. And it's for a $100 ticket. You spend $100, buy a ticket. And you know what? You could win. I won last year, and Jimmy almost passed out when he had drawn my name out of the hat. Oh, my God. I thought Jimmy was going to go for a seizure. But I was in the front row sitting at a round table, and Jimmy went... Oh, no. Since I worked for him, they thought, man, there might have been some hanky-panky going on, but there wasn't. It was legal. And I won $1,000 and gave $500 to my brother Bob because we were together. Aww. So we had a good time. It's a signature event. It's $100. You get golf tournament the day of the event. You get an open bar. You get a nice dinner, golf prizes, and a chance to win moolah when Jimmy and the people, Trish,
thousands of dollars in cash.
Thousands of dollars. So, again, it's a signature event. I'm asking you right now, write that check to the Seneca Falls Country Club for $100. Get yourself in it. I won last year, and I never win those drawings. So, again, it's
You could take the drawing right away and just have the golf tournament and the dinner, and that's not a bad deal.
No.
But then you throw in the chance to win.
Yeah.
I think it's a $3,000 first prize drawing.
Yeah,
cash.
so it's really good. It's really good. So, again, folks, so we'll be plugging this the next few weeks here, but it's one of the great events of the year for the Seneca Falls Country Club. And, by the way, speaking of the Gould Hotel, I want to remind everybody the Great Women Lecture Series begins, and Jessica's involved in this a lot. She supports the women, of course, and supports a lot of things at the Gould that they're trying to do there, the revitalization of the Gould. And I like it. The Gould name back, I kind of like it here in Seneca Falls. But that Women Lecture Series begins this Wednesday, August the 5th. The first speaker is a friend of mine who I've not seen for years. Carol Ritter Wright will be speaking, and I believe her topic is going to be Inspired. That starts at noon this Wednesday at the Gould. And they ask you if you want to join them for lunch. It's only $20 for lunch, plus you get a chance to hear Carol Ritter Wright. And there's a whole bunch of ladies coming up after Carol Ritter Wright, a series which I think is great.
Oh, I do, yeah.
And so please get involved. If you haven't made reservations, call the Gould today. Get yourself a table and enjoy lunch and that beginning of the Women Lecture Series. By the way, I want to remind everybody, I want to thank Stu Peenstra, the Chief of Police of the town of Seneca Falls. He was on my program a few weeks ago. And at the end of the show, I said, if you get a chance, I'd love to get a tour of that facility, even though they're going to move eventually, whenever that happens, to the new town building, which has been a controversy, as you all know, for like years. But Stu took me under his wing and showed me everything at the old office, of course, on State Street, all the different offices. I had a chance to meet all the patrol people, ladies, guys, great opportunity. Showed me the gadgets in the police cars. And, oh, by the way, if you're driving without insurance, you're driving without a license plate that's legal, be careful, because they got gadgets, Jimmy and Jessica, that sound off if you're driving down the road.
Oh.
Automatically makes a noise in the car. So if you're driving without insurance, if you don't have a correct registration, you're going to get nailed big time. So you better get really on the right side of the law. It's pretty amazing, the new technology, as Jimmy knows, he's into this stuff. The 21st century, police cars are getting geared up to catch the bad people who are not driving with the proper credentials.
Yeah, and I was talking to someone at the Sheriff's Department, and they're developing or installing a new piece of technology where the car actually takes a camera in the car actually snaps a license plate when you drive by, and then it runs it.
Exactly. Amazing.
Through a database online.
Yeah.
And then they get alerted if the registration's suspended, if there's a warrant out against somebody. It's
I was impressed, and I want to thank Stu for taking some time out. And Jessica, knowing me a long time, and Jimmy would get a kick out of this, after he gave me the 45-minute tour of the facility and showed me the cars and the offices. He invited me to go to lunch, and he invited Lieutenant Tim Snyder, who just got promoted. Tim's a good guy. Mm-hmm. And we went to Red's. And the funny part of it is he wanted to walk from the police department to Red's, and we cut through a couple areas there, the child caring center, whatever that is over there. Yeah, through the back way. Yep. And here I am in the middle, walking down. I knew Jessica was going to laugh at this because my wife cracked up. Walking down Keegan Street, I'm in the middle. To my right is the chief of police, Stu Pinstra. To my left is the lieutenant, the two highest ranked officers. And I'm in the middle. And, of course, everybody knows me, whether they like me or not. That's another question. They're all yelling from cars, beeping horns. Oh, they finally got you, Weber. They finally got you. And I went into Red's. And, of course, who I run into? Emil Bovey, Rich Rickey, and Rich, of course, a longtime friend of mine, a classmate of mine in 63 at Miners. I got busted big time, sitting there with two highest ranked police officers in the land here in this town, and they had a lot of fun with me. And I have to admit, I took it. And Stu said this is his last lunch before he goes to prison. So I want to thank Stu Pinstra on the air this morning. It was funny and it was great. So a couple other things that I want to pass on to you that's nothing to do with the show, but it's something to do with the way I watch TV. The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. If you ever had a chance to watch it, it's one of my best shows. It's probably uno number one. It's on, 6 o'clock every night on the Comedy Channel. His last show is this Thursday. And if you ever watch it, and if you haven't, check it out. I don't really sometimes stick around and watch the guests he has on, even though he has a lot of great guests. But his opening monologue is 10 to 12 minutes. It's absolutely sensational. I understand his last two shows, Jess and Jimmy, he gets about $200,000 for a 30-second ad from sponsors. That's how popular it is. The last show is going to bring in $1 million for an ad.
Wow,
$1 million.
That's great.
This guy is phenomenal. The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, one of my favorite all time. I'm going to miss that show big time. His last show.
The show's not going away.
But no, he's going away.
He's going away.
And to me, I'm sorry. It's like.
Right. It'd be interesting to see how the new guy does.
It'd be like me trying to replace you. It can't happen. It's not going to happen. It's like me going down to take over Jessica's clients as a hair spot.
Yep.
The dog going to do Mary Weber's hair. No. Come on, Jim. I mean, there's some people you can't replace.
Right.
Hopefully you'll think of that of me when I leave. No,
Yep.
just kidding. And one other note that before we get back to Jess that I found interesting, and maybe you didn't realize this, the Olympics has been going on for 120 years. Something just got announced that blew my mind. They announced the 2022 Winter Games at Beijing, China. Yeah. First city ever to host both the Summer and Winter Olympics. 120 years. So Beijing, China, hosting the Winter Games in 2022.
Meanwhile, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, they're having trouble getting the water clean enough to swim in.
Oh yeah, I did.
For the summers next year, it's 2016.
Wow,
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Well, those are a couple and at the end of the show, we'll give updating guests too. But bringing it back to Jessica Sinicropi-Elias, my special guest this morning. Jess, now you got the operation Jessica and Company down the corner here on Fall Street. At what point did you wake up or lay in bed or have dinner some night saying, I got to make a move? When did that transpire?
Last year.
Last year you decided, boom, got to make a move. And then you started looking around for availabilities?
I did. I looked at a lot of different locations around in Seneca Falls, actually. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of restrictions on, the zoning for different houses here, like if it's zoned residential, commercial, not. So I had kind of, that would have been like a 6 months process to change the zoning if it even got to that point. And so then I just said, okay, I'm not going to try to switch residential into commercial. I'm just going to look for commercial. So
is the zoning regulations less stringent in Waterloo then? Is that what you're saying in Seneca Falls?
I don't know if they're less. Mm-hmm. I certainly haven't had to jump through as many hula hoops in Waterloo. that I, had to go through in Seneca Falls, which is unfortunate because you would want people
To stay.
in Seneca Falls. And, I hope that changes in the years to come for Seneca Falls.
So residential, you try to get it to go commercial.
Well, I wanted to use a house
Gotcha.
that was a Victorian house and change it into a salon setting.
Yeah.
However, the variance that I wanted is there. It's a very gray area. So
It took a long time to get that approved, if it got approved.
Yeah. So I wasn't willing to, invest 6 months into that.
Right.
And then all of a sudden somebody came in to me in the salon. You hear so many different
Right.
things. That's normal. Somebody came in and said, "Hey, Jessica, you should take a look at this facility." And I was like, "Oh, where is it? What is it? Is it listed?" Because
Right.
all the 3 properties that I've purchased, I've had some rental property and stuff. I've never used a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I think that there's anything wrong with a realtor. I think it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
They have to do a lot of work, and it's just that.
Yep.
It didn't happen for me that way. So I ended up, somebody told me about the building on 1530 Marshall Road, the Pathway House. And, I checked it out, went from there, and we'll be closing hopefully this Friday.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm excited.
That's awesome. And a little understanding, not to steal the thunder of your new location.
No.
Much bigger?
Yes.
Okay.
Much larger. The layout is nicer. There's room for expansion. I'll own the facility. The parking is
Parking's a big one, right?
great.
Oh, great parking. Huh?
There's a entrance and exit driveway, and the landscaping's nice. It's a little bit more than an acre and a half. It butts up to a storage facility, Joe Mall's property. That's a good friend of ours. And it'll be across the street from Scoyer School, which the teachers, I know quite a bit of the teachers there. And it also is across from Indian Hills. And I know a few residents in there. So I think that all in all, it will be a great move.
Well, it's nice to know that, first of all, you've built an amazing business. And
Thank
one of
you.
the things people don't realize is, how much work goes into something like this. And then to build that clientele, they're going to follow you. Like
Yeah.
you can
Oh, yeah.
move over there without even worrying about,
Yes.
losing business, which
right.
is something a lot of other businesses wouldn't,
Yeah.
have the luxury of doing. So you don't have to worry too much. You know that everybody's going to follow you because they're so loyal because you do such a great job. And
True.
some of them have been with you for, years,
15 years or
yeah.
better. Yeah, I have a great clientele, loyal friends.
Yeah.
And people, I just think that they feel comfortable. At least I hope that they feel comfortable in the salon. I welcome everybody to come in and
Oh, yeah.
check out our new place. And, some people will stay in Seneca Falls, and that's okay. And we'll pick up other
It's fine.
people in Waterloo. But, I think on the whole, it'll be a great move for everybody. And it'll open up a lot of avenues towards Geneva as well for Hobart and William Smith college students too. So.
Well, let's be honest here. We're not talking about loading up GPS to get your new location here.
right.
We're only talking a couple of miles.
Yeah.
My wife and myself drove by, checked it out.
Yeah.
Because we knew where you were going, or
Yeah.
thinking you were going there, and we thought it was wonderful. A few minute drive. It isn't like, you're going across the country.
No, yeah.
And I doubt very much many of your customers are going to say goodbye to you for this move either, because you have such a good reputation.
Thank
and
you.
speaking of you being, in demand as a hairstylist, do you have availabilities for new clients, or
Yes,
where does that sit?
yes, I do. I
do?
take new clients.
All right, so there you
Yes.
go, folks. If you want your hair done the really classy way, and she's great, and I know firsthand. She has availability, so if you want
And
her,
so does my staff.
so does her staff.
so does
But
my
if you
staff.
want Jessica to do your hair, there are chances to get that done by contacting her, and she can work out the time segment. But it's funny because I've gone into your shop to pick up Mary or to see you and see how you were doing, and you do have a very friendly staff,
Thank
and
you.
you have a very experienced staff. They seem to know what they're doing.
Yes, we do classes once a month. We're actually doing a class at Three Brothers Winery.
Okay.
On the 24th of August. It's a class with actually, he's a celebrity hairstylist. He worked on the Housewives of Orange County.
Wow.
He did the Grammys and the Oscars.
Really?
Yeah, so
Awesome.
it'll be really fun to work with him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, does hairstyling enhancements, new designs, things that you want to do for people or offer people to change their look, is that change? Is that an evolving situation every several months?
Well, I mean, there's trends.
There's trends.
If
Okay.
you fit the trend,
Right.
then wear it. If you
Right.
don't, then, go with what you feel comfortable with,
Mm-hmm.
You have to wear it. It's you,
Right.
Right.
And the thing that I have heard from Mary and other people that have gone to you, you don't rush them through the process. You do it correctly. You do it the way they want it to come out as best as they can.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say that. Like, this is the way we do it in my salon.
But you take time to do it.
Yeah,
way that-
there's certain steps that we take. It's a process. But, if it was me and I was sitting in the chair, I would want it done the way I want it done. And my standard is pretty high. So if you don't like it and if you don't want to hear the truth, then, that's tough.
Who
But
does your hair?
all the girls do my hair.
Do they meet your expectations?
Always. Always.
Because if you can't handle and get the boss correctly, you're in trouble, right?
Right,
So,
right.
yeah, I always wondered about that. So,
Yeah.
The other great thing,
Yeah.
Dog, is that you think there's anybody in town that maybe has their finger on the pulse of things more than her,
I know.
staff?
I know she's well known. I mean, she knows everybody.
Well,
in the
everybody's
area.
coming in there. They're
That's right.
talking. It's really kind of like
Yeah.
the info hub of downtown.
No, I know.
And so I thought that was always an interesting thing. If you really want to know what's going on,
yeah.
stop in and get your haircut. And
Get the
well, you can get a
Info.
lot. You can get a lot of info at hairstylists, boys. You
It's
can.
true.
Trust me, I know from.
And then all
past
the
history.
weddings and
yeah.
This is a
weddings
very
that you
large
work,
wedding
it's just,
season.
you
Actually,
really touch a
ju-
lot of people's,
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
important
a lot of our
parts of
family
their
got
lives.
married this year. But weddings are really fun, and you get to meet a lot of people from Syracuse, Buffalo. We've done weddings. We did one in Chicago. We've gone to Naples. We travel for weddings. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great opportunity to meet new people and be creative. So, and there's some great photographers in the area that we work with. A lot of things kind of, in the hairstyling industry, you definitely meet, makeup artists, new hairstylists, photography, videographers. I mean, all different types of things. So it's really neat.
And before you wrap up, I guess if you had to make a suggestion to a young woman or a young guy checking us out this morning and looking for future endeavors, hairstyling and it's not a bad call, right? You'd recommend it?
I would say any type of trade that you feel that there's a calling, that you are called towards, do it. Or if college is right for you, do it. Try. Keep trying. Do the best that you can. If you don't try, you'll never know.
And by the way, I know she's shy and bashful, right? But in all seriousness, we did not give enough kudos for her involvement with sponsorships and helping people out and being a part of the community and engaging, buying raffle tickets and buying all this stuff for people. I know she does a lot of that. She's not about to bring it up on this show, but I'm bringing it up the fact that she is very, and a lot of the business owners are just like that, because I know, Jessica, with all due respect, you must get knocked on the door a lot during the course of the week for a donation of some sort.
Yes, we
and
do.
it's hard to say yes to all of them. I'm sure you have to prioritize, but we've been friends a long time. We'll be friends forever, and I thank you very much for coming on this morning.
Thank you. It was an honor.
Well, thank you. And Jessica is certainly going to be moving. We will update you on how that works out, when the actual date is. We'll throw a couple of free plugs on that when she announces her beginning of when she's going to open up in Waterloo to start business there. By the way, is it still going to be called Jessica and Company?
Yes.
All right. So good. Hey, by the way, folks, before we wrap up our show and give you bid farewell, I want to remind everybody of upcoming guests. We have a great list of guests coming in. Of course, next week, speaking of Jessica, we stay with the name Jessica. Mrs. America, Mrs. New York America, who's on the air for Finger Lakes One and Jim. Jessica Lahr, an outstanding person, a very beautiful woman, a lot of class, and she's doing a great job with FLX Weekly. I check it out every week. She'll be on the couch talking about the show, and I understand there's another Mrs. America pageant coming up. We got to find out where it's at, Jim, so we'll check that out.
She's going for the national competition next.
Right.
Miss Universe?
Yeah.
No, she's won the state competition, so now she's going to the nationals, and then after that, I think it would be some sort of world world competition.
So, anyways, Jessica Lahr will be my guest next week on the couch. Then the 17th, we're talking about the town of Seneca Falls. The new building is going to be built out on Ovid Street. Before I hopefully don't die, I want to see where that is. Maybe I want to open up the door. I've been hearing about this for years and years and years. When's it going to happen? We'll talk about that with Emil Bovee on the couch on the 17th. Then the 24th, a special show. Even though we won't have him live, I'm a big fan of Channel 9 with Carrie Lazarus. Rod would have been a team forever. Most popular in the area as far as viewership. But I've always liked Stephen Foddy, the sports guy. He does an outstanding job. He's a sports director of Channel 9. Jim loves him because he has the Orange Nation studio. Emphasizing, obviously, at Syracuse, you're emphasizing field hockey, lacrosse, basketball, football, all the sports. They cover it like no other station does. I couldn't get him to come to Seneca Falls because he's got a busy schedule day to day, but he has promised me he'll come on the phone and talk to us. So Stephen Foddy via phone on the 24th of the month, and if you Orange fans want to check him out, please join us on that date as well. And then on the 31st show that I'm looking forward to, young man named Josh Dursa, who does editorials for the Finger Lakes Times every couple of weeks on very important topics. The latest one that he did last week caught my attention regarding Lago, good or bad, what's going to happen, people who are trying to take away the Lago Casino. It's a small party, but they're getting the court now to step in and get them to go back square one, back to the environmental issues. But Josh writes a very outstanding editorial.
Durso. Yeah.
Josh Durso. He'll be here on the 31st. Then we take a break for Labor Day, and then our next show, the only one I've got scheduled into September right now, a couple of new owners of a new eatery, which we'll be checking out, by the way, and I'm sure Jessica will be giving it a visit too. It's called the West Side Italian Eatery, formerly known as Francesco's on Route 14 outside of Geneva. They've got Jana and Tommy Coons are the owners, and they opened up last Thursday night. And I believe they're open for dinners Thursday through Sunday. And that, of course, is the West Side Italian Eatery. They'll be here on the 14th of September talking about their startup business and how it's going at that location. So, once again, thanks a lot, Jess.
Thank you.
All right. For Jessica Sinicropi and Elias, we get all those names in there, and Weber and Smith and Jones, just kidding. And for Jimmy Sinicropi, have a great week, everybody. Enjoy the game of golf. And by the way, it's Farm Days next week. We'll talk about that next week on the show. Take care, everybody. That's Weber this week.
By becoming a patron of FingerLakes1.com. Visit patreon.com/FL1.
FingerLakes1.com